I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Hyungsuk Kang, the co-founder and CEO of Standard Protocol. Hyungsuk, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I would love to kick off the overview of Standard Protocol and just get a little bit of the vision and the focus and what your team is working on.
So Standard Protocol tries to provide the collateralized rebasable stablecoin, which is a stablecoin which is collateralized by the other assets in the Polkadot ecosystem. And we try to keep the value by rebasing, by adjusting the supply that can be generated from collateralization. And also we're trying to bring some Oracle system to generate synthetic assets and bring the next protocol for the DeFi.
Great. And yeah, this is definitely an interesting type of asset, collateralized rebasable stablecoin. You know, there's a lot of collateralized coins, algorithmic stablecoins. What made you first think of building a collateralized rebasable coin that was based off of the Polkadot ecosystem?
So the problem about the algorithmic stablecoin is that there are actually three problems. Like first, there has been an algorithmic stablecoin which just prints out these coins in expansionary cases, like the first time of their launches, and then in contractionary cases when they cannot recover the price at $1, they have to require some people to give up their ownerships to recover the price back by limiting amount of liquidity circulating supply around the market. So ESD used to have some coupons, or Basis Cash used to have those bonds to store those like circulating stable coins to provide scarcity so that the asset prices go up to $1. This has failed greatly in most of the algorithmic stablecoin projects, and for the Terra, from some other stablecoins, they could just like print some of the monies, print some of the stablecoins, regardless of the Oracle information they provide. First of all, I have seen Terra in the Coindesk articles, and well, you know the other examples. So what I'm trying to bring here is that I want to bring a stable coin without any manipulation at all, and wanted to have like a real back value by the assets, and try to come up with some automated algorithm to adjust the supply without any sacrifice of the stablecoin holders to sacrifice their ownership to recover the price.
Definitely. And it's really interesting. Right now, the Polkadot ecosystem is growing really quickly. And I'm interested to know if you can give any more details on the rebasing of the stablecoin based on the Polkadot ecosystem. So the goal is to keep it at $1, to keep it stable. And with the ecosystem growing and also just fluctuating in both directions, how do you do that properly without the price fluctuating away from $1?
Okay, so there should be a variance to be $1 because this is basically physically not a US dollar exactly, but there are some benefits regarding variation of each cases of the price due to a collateralization, and also we have a rebase mechanisms to adjust the supply so that we bring scarcity to the market where people cannot generate stable coins sometimes, so that we can have the adequate amount of circulating supply our asset could have the same value to the $1. Also, we brought this collateralizations to our stablecoin mechanism because the standard protocol did not want to sacrifice the holders to do something to recover the price back. Rather, we would prefer taking a risk at first and then provide many opportunities regarding revolving around this protocol ecosystem. So yeah, that's pretty much the difference between our stablecoin and the other algorithmic stablecoins.
Thank you, Hyungsuk. And with the Polkadot ecosystem, I think it's a great ecosystem as it is growing and it seems to have a lot of solutions that are needed in DeFi. Can you talk a little bit about why Polkadot is the best blockchain technology for this type of rebasable stablecoin?
So I have been around in Polkadot ecosystem for about more than 2 years, and I have been watching Polkadot growing its code base. And first of all, I have been around in this ecosystem, so I think I know very much about those like softwares and the code. And also, what I feel interesting about this Polkadot ecosystem is that you build the substrate uh, parachain
Mm-hmm.
where you have a full control of your blockchain protocol. So basically, I mean, well, some people will just satisfy with the smart contracts, but there are some requirements where the blockchains can more innovate, such as smart contract does not provide some smooth upgrading process voted by the community. So this could lead to some frictions on upgrading it. The substrate provides an on-chain upgrade where people can vote on on-chain and then change it immediately. Also, Parachain also provides interoperability in the Polkadot that Relay Chain can send uh, informations across the blockchains that in the Polkadot ecosystem without pretty much like lower cost. And
Mm-hmm.
also, there are all since the substrate is just a framework, so there are many upgradable features that a Polkadot developer can add
Mm-hmm.
to its blockchain, and it's kind of extending more and more, giving more control to the technical perspectives, and it is pretty much focused on the innovation. Due
Mm-hmm.
to this, I actually chose Polkadot because I see that there is so many spaces that one can innovate within its tech, and it's mostly safe with Rust programming language, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I prefer. Yeah.
That's good to know. And yeah, you mentioned about blockchain interoperability there, and cross-chain. And right now, the majority of decentralized finance applications are on Ethereum, and there are growing out to the Solana ecosystem, other blockchains as well. Is this something that your platform will be able to connect and tie in with the other decentralized finance ecosystems as they all grow together?
Well, I think nowadays, like maximalist perspective is not preferred. I think
Mm-hmm.
like there are so many good blockchain technologies out there. Uh, uh, like some of them has their weaknesses, but some of them has their strengths. I think what matters right now is that you have this idea of like financial products or some other other ideas that could be innovated and probably have many implementation across this blockchain ecosystem and then interoperate them all together. So there are many bridge implementations in development going on, such as Chain Bridge from ChainSafe Systems. Also, there are some bridges made by like some in-house development team from Cosmos. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we would like to connect those bridges all together, and also as a Tendermint fellow, I'm pretty much interested in uh, implementing IBC into
Mm-hmm.
our protocol as well to provide some open communications to interoperating with other Cosmos SDK chains.
Definitely. And we recently spoke with the Cosmos team about the release of the IBC, and that seems very promising. And I completely agree with that. Maximalist perspective doesn't get you anywhere because we are
Yeah.
so early on in this innovative technology that if all these blockchains are able to work together and communicate together, I think that that will just bring the innovation into the market that much faster. So I agree with you, Hyungsuk. And speaking of connecting different bridges, your Oracle platform is also trying to connect traditional finance and traditional financial products into the decentralized ecosystem. Can you just talk about that other aspect of standard as well?
So other aspects of standard is that we're actually trying to accommodate a real stablecoin to our protocol right now. So far, we have a partnership between Jinko Bank, which is a private bank in Korea, which has uh, license for operating all those like cryptocurrency assets. and they wanted to experiment with our protocol to provide CBDC. So one of the technical designs that we're considering right now is that they keep the keys for sending those digitized CBDC to our protocol, or mint or burn or something, and then we connect those with the open banking API from the Korean government, which aggregated all the banks' API to operate with the fiat currency. So we have received this API from the bank, and then we're kind of trying to experiment with how we can connect this uh, API to minting and burning the CBDC on our ecosystem right now. So, for example, this could be done like so. There's like an open banking API there is like a bank account which receives some Korean one from a user, and then use that signal once the bank receives the Korean one, it sends the signal to the bridge that they have received some more uh, balance additions, and then the bridge account from the key that the bank owns, and then can send those like transactions to our blockchains to mint digital KR1 to the sender who sent the real Korean money. So those kind of research is now going on, and
Mhm.
we'll try to release on technical design for the Web3 Foundation grant and try to get passed on it.
Wow, that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And I think CBDCs are going to be a gateway for all of the regular people to more realize the potential of digital currencies and look into the decentralized finance ecosystem as well. And
Sure. I
as
would call it like transfi, like transition,
mm-hmm,
meaning that transition from fiat to cryptocurrency, like financial systems.
mm-hmm.
So people using our standard protocol, I hope that they will have both advantages regarding fiat and cryptocurrencies.
Definitely, and I haven't heard that term yet, so I will definitely look for that one as that continues to grow out, and I'm sure your team is leading the way with that. And just to go back to the stablecoin for a minute, you do have the Rebasable stablecoin, but you also have a multi token ecosystem throughout standard, and there's a lot more intricacies, and I wanted to dive into that as well. Can you talk about the other token economics and the ecosystem on top of the stablecoin and the other coins that are in standard, and how they work in synchronicity, and does it create a sustainable ecosystem for the participants in standard?
So a meter is a basically a stable coin which is generated from the vault, where you create the CDP out of your collaterals that you have uh, in Polkadot ecosystem. So you could have a standard to leverage, and then you receive either our stable coin to trade the other assets in the in Polkadot ecosystem, or you could just keep it for you could just buy the leveraged asset and then enable leverage trading. And also the leader or lighter is our liquidity provider token, just like Uniswap V2, where we have implemented a code for kind of replicating the Uniswap V2, and then you can receive that by making a pair between other crypto assets in our ecosystem, or you could just get it by providing a liquidity to the existing pool. So it pretty much operates the same as the liquidity provider token in Uniswap V2, and you could claim your liquidity after providing liquidity just like Uniswap. So that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much leader for that. And you can also stake those leader to receive standard with the farming module. The farming module is usually the Rust implementation of the most like cool contracts in the Ethereum smart contract ecosystem. And we'll try to bring those leaders to be staked in the pool so that people could receive standard by providing liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
And standard is our governance token where people can change the parameters of our stablecoin ecosystem. It can change the CDPs, probably provide a new asset for the synthetic assets. And there will be more features coming out as our protocol is going to go through on-chain upgrades, and people will be able to affect more features across our ecosystem.
Great. Thank you for that explanation. And it's great to understand how they all work together. And I know your team has done a lot of work so far, and there's still so much to do as you continue to grow out the community. And I would love to hear a glimpse into the next few months for you and your team, and what are the major things that you're working on delivering out to the public with Standard?
So Standard tries to deliver the standard of digital assets literally with this name. So I hope that people could understand us, that we're trying to work hard. We're really working hard to deliver the standard of the assets, and we're willing to do more research on other protocols, like what's good and what's bad, and we'll try to come up with the new default, new standard in the cryptocurrency ecosystem.
Definitely. And for the viewers that are looking to follow along with the platform as you continue to grow and get involved in the ecosystem, what's the best way for them to learn more?
Well, the best way to learn more is that we're trying to create our own YouTube channel for educating videos and stuff. So I hope that people could watch us educating about our protocol soon, and then probably we could interact in the Telegram by asking questions, or we could do some AMAs and try to go there and then ask questions there too.
Definitely. Great, Hyungsuk. Well, I will add your YouTube, Telegram, the website, and the platform in the description box below as well for the viewers. Thank you so much for taking the time with the time that we had today to just talk about Standard Protocol and really interesting initiatives that your team is working on. All the best with the platform moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
Thank you. Let's definitely follow up. We'll be working hard.